I just go back to my time in Congress. And I know he's had a couple of Trump-type people trying to defend him, saying, oh, there's nothing a senator could do. I just go back to when we had hurricanes in our district. It was all men and women on board. I would see Lawton Chiles. I would see Jeb Bush. I would see, I mean, you name it. I would see Bill Nelson. I would see Connie Mack. And it was all hands on deck. Everybody was working. We were all together. We were talking to FEMA. We were talking to the SBA. We were talking to every agency. We were working together with the local officials, asking what they needed. You almost had a checklist, especially somebody like Jeb Bush. And it was all hands on deck. If I had ever decided I was going to go on a foreign vacation, a vacation overseas when a hurricane had hit, I promise my staff would have, before letting me do that, they would have put a tranquilizer, like gun, like it shot me in my neck to stop me from going. It's just, this is actually beyond the realm of anything I'm almost speechless. Rick, how does something like this happen?
Well, good morning, Joe. Well, look, I'm just a dumb country comms guy. And in the very sophisticated world of political communication, this is what you call a dumbass move. There's no excuse for it. And it's really remarkable that in moments that require leadership, like leadership in a disputed election, like leadership in a pandemic, and leadership in a man-made and natural disaster in Texas. Texas is losing $3 billion a day because of the incompetence of the management of the power grid. And that was foreseeable. We've known that for 10 years. There are people in the legislature who've been screaming about it and writing reports for 10 years about this is inevitable, just the way the pandemic was inevitable. And then I'm trying to work through the thought process, Joe. So what you do is during that crisis where people don't have electricity and they're told by the state to boil water that doesn't even come out of their faucets, you decide to get online, book yourself a ticket to a first-class resort in Cancun, and then get on a plane. And after you order your first glass of wine in first class, you decide, and this is according to Senator Cruz's statement, that something just doesn't feel right about this, that, maybe this is the wrong thing to do. And then Ted Cruz did a really horrendous move. He blamed his mistake on his children. And nowhere, I can promise you, did a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old say, Daddy, I know you have important obligations as a senator, but we want to go to the Ritz-Carlton in Cancun this week, and you're going to take us. And he would succumb to that. You see, Ted Cruz said, I want to be a good dad, but here's how you be a good dad. You tend to the emotional needs of your children, so during a crisis, they don't need you. And they understand that you're a United States senator, and you're a leader, and you have responsibility to your constituents. You don't go off to Cancun because your children want to go to Cancun. And I promise you, they didn't ask to go to Cancun. This was Senator Ted Cruz's move. And now he comes back, and he suddenly wants to have a reset and put it all back together. This is gross, negligent, reckless incompetence.